Alright guys, what's up? In this video, I'm going to go ahead and walk you through the steps on how I configured my MULTIWII setup. The flight controller, we're going to configure the GPS unit. I'm going to show you how to configure the Bluetooth module, explain some things about the i2c and get this configured, and of course you're going to need the FTDI tool as well. So first things first, we're going to need the GPS module and the FTDI tool. This is an absolute must because nothing has a USB port. You cannot connect a USB directly up to any of these whatsoever, so an FTDI tool is a must, and it's clearly labeled. You've got DTR, RX, TX, VCC, CTS, and ground. And all of these modules, every last one of them, you can see right here, this is the connector. They're labeled. They're silk screened onto the PCB. So when connecting these up, whether it be the GPS module, the i2c board, the Bluetooth board, or this, it is clearly labeled. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now that, you know, VCC is power, ground is ground, right? RX will always go to TX. TX will always go to RX. Do not ever put RX to RX, TX to TX, because you've got transmit and receive. Transmit is TX, receive is RX. So I'm going to go ahead and get that out of the way now. So for this connector here, we're going to need to use our breadboard wires. You're going to need at least 4 of them. And I bought this as a kit off of Amazon, and it came with everything here, and it even came with these little jumper leads to connect these boards together. It didn't come with the receiver, and the server leads are separate. That's something separate. I might not include that in this video, but it's here, it's in the video, and it does not come with the breadboard jumper links, but we're going to need this. So obviously we cannot connect USB directly up to the GPS module, but we need this to communicate with this, so that way we can read this on the computer. So we need to grab one of our jumper links and make sure it's one that has this kind of into it. And these colors might not necessarily line up correctly, because obviously, you know, black would be ground, red would be power, such and such, but unfortunately it doesn't really line up like that and doesn't work like that. So in our case right now, with it plugged in, we've got black is ground, that's cool, red is RX, yellow is TX, and green is power. So just keep that in mind when connecting up with your FTDI tool. So since we do have, I don't have the exact colors matching. I mean, over the years I kind of whittled my collection down to dust, really, but since we did get lucky, black is still ground. So we take our FTDI tool, and we can see on the silk screen, ground is ground. One of our yellow ones here. Our next one is RX, which is red. So we'll plug it into red. And red we said was RX, so we'll plug that into the TX slot here. Our next one is TX, which is yellow, so we'll take our yellow jumper and we'll plug our TX into RX. our random white wire is power, which turns out to be green. And we'll plug that into i2c. Again, just remember, make sure that the information that is silkscreened on here matches the information that is silkscreened on here, because you might not necessarily have the correct color of wires for whatever reason. But just make sure that it matches the information. RX to TX, TX to RX, power to power, ground to ground. Okay, now since I already have this module configured, I'm not going to be bothered with plugging this into the USB port, because I'm not really going to be showing you anything. But when you open up the file, okay, it's going to look something like this. And you do a little, you can see it on the screen. Okay? You're going to want to go down to U-Block configuration tool, and you can see it's got this. This is what's going to look like. It's going to look like a bunch of, don't mess with any of this, okay? But you're going to need this. You can take it, you can send to desktop if you want, but I'm not going to do that. You're going to want a software called i2c. It's for the U-Blocks. We're going to open this up. Green, on, install, open it up. Okay, the software is going to look something like this, okay? This is, you know, like the coordinates. You've got the compass up here, a grid of some sort. You've got a flat lay of, you know, the earth, you know, all kinds of stuff. All kinds of information here. The receiver is pre-configured to read at 9600 baud rate. That's not going to work. The flight controller wants to see 115,200 baud rate. Everything that comes in the kit is pre-configured to run at 9600 baud rate, except for this. This wants to see 115,000 baud rate. So in order for this to communicate with this i2c board, this and this i2c board needs to be able to communicate at 150,000 baud rate, so that way it can be read by the flight controller. That sounds super probably. So what you're going to want to do is, after clicking on receiver, port, make sure your COM port is selected. Your baud rate is going to read 9600 baud rate. Go to tools, go to GNSS configuration tool. This is your configuration file. This is where you select your configuration file. You load it up. Then this will read the information to this, which will reprogram this to read, it will reflash and read 115,000 baud. Then, once that gets done, it's no longer going to read at 9600 baud rate. Then you're going to want to switch to 115,200 baud rate. That's when you'll see this whole screen comes up live, and this is now communicating at 115,000 baud rate, and it's good. Okay, and again, that configuration file is that file that I showed you earlier with all these numbers. So you would just select that, load it up, send it to this. This is now reading 115,000 baud rate. Call it good. And that's how you hook this portion up. This part's done. You've got your wires, your jumper links, your breadboard links, or whatever. If you soldered a custom connector or whatever, you can do it. And you need your SD drive to not connect USB up to this. So you need this, and you need these, and make sure the wires are correct and happy, that is how you do that. We need to update the firmware on the i2c board. This is the board. It actually has an Arduino on it. This board is what helps this and this communicate together. So without this, these would not be able to work together. I mean, ideally in a perfect world, you would be able to just connect the wire between these two and call it good. No, unfortunately not. You need another Arduino. You need the i2c board. So we need to make sure that the i2c board is updated and working correctly. This time it's a little bit more straightforward because it already has the FTDI pins on it. And you can see on this side, other side, it's clearly labeled. Ground is on this side. DTR is on this side. So if we take our FTDI tool, we're going to be able to see it's DTR on the side, ground on the side. So we're going to want to put it there. So just basically make sure that it lines up correctly. Okay, so once you have that and you plug in your USB port, you're going to notice that it's going to be flashing. So go into your i2c GPS navigation file, and again, I'm going to have the links in the description. So when you open up, it's going to look like this, and you can see it's going to have a little Arduino symbol next to it. Double click it. Arduino to pop up. And again, guys, I apologize for not using Bandicam. It's not working right now, and I just want to go ahead and get this out. You're going to see a bunch of these files up here, or windows, or whatever you call it. You're going to click on config.h. Okay. You can see right here it says define GPS serial speed. It's at 38400. Let's go ahead and change that to 1500 200 baud rate. Okay. Then you're going to upload your file. You can undo that. Again, don't forget to go into tools. I actually showed you this first. Make sure you got your Arduino selected. It should be just regular Arduino Uno port. Make sure your COM port is selected. Yeah, and make sure it's reading at 150,200 baud. Upload that. Then your board here is configured. Most importantly is the flight controller. You know, the GPS, Bluetooth, all that stuff is optional, but the most important part about all this is the flight controller. You don't have to have GPS. You can use the flight controller to do whatever you want to do. You can even use it to control a monster truck. Whatever you want, a robot, it doesn't matter. You can use this board to control pretty much anything you want to. But in our case, obviously, we're going to control a quadcopter, so we need to configure this. Again, we're going to need our FTDI tool. Our FTDI pin is right here on this, and it even says FTDI. So we're going to want to line up ground with ground. So it's going to go in there something like this. That's what it's going to look like on my configuration, okay? So again, make sure that the silk screens are lined up correctly. Plug in your USB port. When this board is not configured, you're going to see a flashing blue light. The flashing blue light is going to flash constantly. So, MULTIWII 2.4. It's going to say MULTIWII, and it's also going to say MULTIWII config underneath it. we're going to want MULTIWII. We're going to go down to our Arduino file, click it, and it's going to open up Arduino again. Just like in the last time I showed you Arduino, we're going to want to see config.h, and this is broken up into sections, and this is section 1 right here, okay? And we need to define what this is going to be. So, you know, you've got hex 6, hex 6x, you've got 8, you've got try, you've got pi, you've got gimbal. But right here, this one right here is quad x. We're going to want to define that. We're going to want to delete those two little hash marks. See that? So now we just define that. This section right here, we're going to want to define that because we're going to use Simon K. So we're going to delete those two little slash marks in front of it. Just like that. Don't worry about messing with min throttle. Don't worry about messing with max throttle. Don't worry about i2c speed. Don't worry about that. Combined IMU boards. This is the section we're in right now. And you can see it has a whole list of boards. This one right here, it says Cirrus V21. If we were just going to run a regular quadcopter, no GPS, no nothing, this is the one you're going to find. But since in our model we're going to run GPS, we're going to want to go down to where it says MK MULTIWII SE. MK MULTIWII SE. We're going to want to, again, define this by deleting those two little marks there and define that. Then you can upload that to your flight controller, and your flight controller is already, it's ready to go to be able to use the GPS. This goes in between this, so that way it can read to this, and you've got your GPS all set up. Obviously you don't need that FT die stuck to it, but you know, your flight controller communicates to this, which communicates to this, this sends information back to this, which sends information to this, so that way they can read nice and happy. Now, one little last thing, we need to set up Bluetooth. We don't need to, but this is great for telemetry, or being able to set your PID settings on the fly. You can pair it up to your freaking phone by using an app and set your settings on the fly. Let's go ahead and get that set up. For this right here, we're going to need not that one. We're going to need one of these connectors because it has this on the end of it and that on the other end. So we can plug this in. Actually, let's use one of them, because one of these actually lined up perfectly with the colors. There it is. Yeah, so you've got ground, which is black, red is power, TX is yellow, and RX is green. And this is the one I'm actually going to hook up for you guys, so that way you can see. We're going to need our FTDI tool. So what do we have? We have ground, which is black. Our power, which is red. Our TX, which is yellow, so we go off the yellow. So TX is going to go into RX, obviously. Just like that. And RX is green. Our RX is going to go into TX. So now we can properly communicate with the Bluetooth. And you're going to see why I'm actually so we have the USB cable now. My USB cable is super short, which is stupid, so let's go ahead and plug this in. Let's click on tools. So, 5. We're blinking, that's good. Let's go to serial monitor. And for this, I'm going to type in uppercase A T. We're going to click enter. And right here it says now, I already configured all my stuff, so that's why when it's reading 115,200 it's already working. It's saying okay. So let's say we did configure it. 9600 watt rate. Let's go repeat. Click enter. Nothing happened. So 150,000 watt rate. You're getting it. That's great. So now that we have this all configured, let's go through the steps to show you. What I went through to configure this to read 150,200 baud rate, or transmit 150,200 baud rate. Right now, AT plus baud. When you press enter, that's going to read. This is going to tell the Bluetooth module to start reading at 150,000 baud rate. Then, when you do that, that's when you go back and you press AT enter. And it's going to say okay. Alright, now that all that is done, so you want to change the name. So, you will want to go to AT plus name. Then type whatever your name is going to be. In my case, let's do DJD4L. Then you'll press enter. Then when you press enter, it's going to say okay, set name, which is pretty cool. Then next, let's say we want to change our pin, because when you go to sign into the Bluetooth, the pin is going to be default at 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's change our pin. AT, oops, it all has to be uppercase, so AT plus PIN, pin. Then your pin can be whatever you want. 1, 2, 3, 4, which is the default, is what it's at. You can do 999. Pretty much anything you want. But that's it, guys. That's